Hi everybody, hello, welcome back to my channel. You're speaking to John. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. This is a channel about everything. It's a well-rounded channel. I have two series currently going on, one about murder mysteries and one about how to treat your spouse, whether you're the guy with the girl, with the guy, or guy, or girl, you know, such and such. But I'm well-rounded. I do everything from my 10 years in prison to cryptocurrency, via everything, well-rounded channel. And if you're coming back, welcome back to the channel. I love up and up, and we're about to hit that 40,000 mark. You know, so here we go. Today I'm gonna do a video that I've touched on here and there when it comes to coming off drugs, how you might feel, but I'm just gonna do it with no illegal drugs involved, just talk about mental health and how I have dealt with mental health and I'm still dealing with my mental health issues. And some of this information that I give out might help you in your separate situations, whether it might be some of you deal with social anxiety, regular anxiety, depression, you know, strength, you know, energy to get out of bed, you know, such. I want to go, I'll start with my meds. I'll go in real quick. You know, I take a lot of, this is just a small amount of my meds. So just to show you, you know, this is some of the stuff. Obviously, you know, I got a fake skull, so some of it's, you know, for my health. But I just want to show you, you know, I'm well-rounded. There's a couple meds in here, you know. I do got meds, you know what I mean? So I have, I know what I'm talking about, all right? As far as what applies to me. I've been diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and bipolar. I'm not too keen on the diagnosis with bipolar, because when I'm happy, I want to feel happy. When I'm sad or mad, I want to feel sad or mad. I don't want to not feel nothing and be like a flat line. So I'm not sure if I agree with that. But I guess it really depends on how you handle the ups and the downs. Then you might be bipolar, you know what I mean? But I'll go on the depression. The depression right now, they treated me like a guinea pig growing up, you know, going through jail and stuff like that, and prison, and even prior, before that, seeing the doctor back in, I think the first time I was actually prescribed was 1999. It was because I had an overdose on angel dust, PCP, the dip cigarettes. And when I came out, when they revived me at the hospital, I said, I can't believe I killed myself. I didn't mean I can't believe I killed myself. I meant I can't believe the drugs I did killed me. But they mistook it and they had me see a doctor. And that's when my medication started. For me, with the depression, I think I'll start on ssris. SSRIs stands for selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. Now, best way I can explain it, I don't know if we're gonna have a model in the background or in front, but if not, my hand gesture. Your brain has a receptor right here and a receptor right here, and it puts out some chemicals, and this side of the receptor absorbs those chemicals. And it just keeps firing, it keeps absorbing, keeps firing, keeps absorbing. And your reuptake is what it fires, and after it absorbs, what's left in the middle, it's a scooper that reuptakes it to reshoot it back out again, like reuse it later, you know, on another try of it shooting the chemical to the other receptor. Now, reuptake inhibitor stops that shovel from scooping it back up and recycling it. It leaves it in the center of the two, which allows it then to get more time to reach the other receptor and to work. You know, it lets your body, your brain, be more efficient. You know, instead of recycling the chemical that didn't get taken and shooting it back out again later, it's letting it stay out there to give it more time for that receptor to get all of the chemical that it was supposed to take. So the reuptake inhibitor is stopping, it's inhibiting it from reuptaking it, and it's letting it stay in the middle of the two. The longer it stays in the middle of the two, the better chance you have of it grabbing the chemical, the right amount, that it was supposed to get. And selective serotonin, the serotonin is said to raise your mood, and it is also, like, Paxil is also given for social anxiety, because it's said that if you have more serotonin in your system, it'll also help you calm your nerves to an extent, which might allow you to calm your social anxiety nerves. Like, I'm way out of school, but, like, picture you're in school and you're gonna have a public speaking and just in front of your class. You might get a little nervous because you might think they're gonna snicker over here, but you like this girl over here. You're gonna have all these worries and fears, and there might be for no reason at all. Or there might be a reason, but you as a man or a woman, you should be able to get beyond that. You know what I mean? And the reuptake inhibitors and Paxil and the SSRIs will help alleviate that fear, that anxiety that you have. SSRI, the serotonin, will also help you become more happier easier. You know what I mean? Because that is the happy feeling. That's my best way of my level of where my knowledge is as to explain it to you. And instead of using these big words that I don't even know and that you might not know. It's the happy feeling, serotonin. And the more that you're allowed to absorb is really what you're supposed to absorb. So it'll help you feel more like the next man, or what you really should feel. And my feelings with the selective serotonin, yeah, I never had good experiences. Everybody has different chemistries, like chemical reactions to different meds, their own. You know what I mean? They have their own reaction. Everybody's different. So what I feel or what happened to me might be totally, completely different for you. You know what I mean? So I'm just telling you what I know and what I've dealt with, and I'm hoping some of my knowledge helps some of you. And for me, I apologize if there's any females here that feel uncomfortable with me saying it, but when I was taking SSRIs, I had sexual side effects, and it wasn't me being able to perform. It was the finishing part. Like, if you know what I'm trying to say, like, I felt like I was right at the bus stop, boom, and then I became right at the beginning of the bus ride again. Like, it's like, what? I was right there, and then you're right at the beginning, so then you gotta work, you understand what I'm saying. So I got myself right off that, because I didn't like the way it felt, and I gained a lot of weight. It made me feel weird. So I didn't have I don't have any good things to say about just the SSRI. I did try in jail SNRIs, that's serotonin norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor. You already know reuptake inhibitor. I don't need to explain that again. But serotonin, we already explained that. Norepinephrine is also something that might give you energy. That's in the adrenal family. You know what I mean? Norepinephrine. You know what I mean? And that's to help you get that little bit of energy, because you might not want to get out of bed because you're depressed. You're like, why get out? Let me just lay in bed all day. Well, I'm not going nowhere. Why even shower today? That's going a little ultimate with that. You should shower anyway, but you know what I'm trying to say. You might not want to get out of bed. You might figure, why shower if I'm not going anywhere? These things will help you feel good, feel less stress of what you might have in your head on, if I get out, if I go here, if I go there, what will people think, what will people say? You'll just do, and then you'll have your motivation to get out, to take a shower, to wash your clothes, just do stuff to go on with your life. And by going on with your life, it'll just make you feel better. You know what I mean? You got stuff accomplished for the day, and just those actions and those good things in your lives, and moving forward, progressing in your life in a positive way, will also bring happiness to your life. It'll lower your anxiety, So it will work. I was on Effexor, for that for a little while, and it didn't do me bad, because I didn't really have sexual side effects at all with that. Wasn't that bad. The only thing that happened with me was I wasn't going to the bathroom much at all. It was bad with that. And I didn't gain weight, but I didn't lose weight either. I stayed at that weight because I was a little bit bigger, heavier. Because normally I'm 165. I mean, I'm a little bit heavy now because of, you guys know I just came out of hospital. I'm losing it again. But I was in prison when I was on that, and I was working out too, though. So I had that kind of weight with me, but I wasn't even able to get back to my normal weight if I wanted to. So, but the SNRI worked for me well. What they tried to give me was for the anxiety. I forgot the name of it. It looked like I'll have to look it up. It was a pill it's really a serotonin pill. It's I'm gonna have it written down below right now. I'm gonna look it up before she edits it, and it'll be written down below. And what I did with these pills is I took them, and they were like supposed to be like help you with anxiety, but they helped you with anxiety by letting you have more serotonin. So I don't think they really helped you. And there was people that were abusing it by just crushing them up and sniffing them, and I didn't like that feeling. But I heard the people that did do it, it did get them screwed up a little bit, for maybe half hour, 20 minutes or whatever. I don't mess around with, mental health meds like that. I take them as prescribed. And after that, when I came home, a psych doctor asked me, like, how did I feel about that SNRI? And I told him that I just didn't feel like I had any energy or any emotion. Like, I just felt flatlined to everything. Like, everything's flatlined, and I just didn't have any energy. I just didn't have that energy that I wanted and desired. So he tried me on something which I am on to this day, and I swear by this. It's a DNRI. That's dopamine norepinephrine reuptake inhibitor. Dopamine is like when you get flooded from dopamine from doing cocaine or doing like amphetamine. You know what I mean? Like those, like I'm on Vyvanse. I've been on Adderall. Those are dopamine aggregators. They produce more dopamine. If you did cocaine, that's an aggregator too. That would flood you with more dopamine. But this is a dopamine reuptake inhibitor. So it's allowing the dopamine signal to get absorbed instead of getting recycled and shot back out again later. It's getting shot back out again later, but of newer stuff, but you still had that time to let it get absorbed because it stayed in the middle, in the middle of two receptors instead of getting reuptaked. And I think that did me great. That has weight loss. It's not like something you take for weight loss, but that's like a side effect. It could be positive to some it could be negative. Like it keeps you, because it keeps you active, it keeps you, it makes you want to get out of bed and just do something with yourself, just to do something, just to go out and socialize, just go out and meet people, just go out and work, get out of bed and just do something. You know what I mean? I played more cards because I was in jail for a lot of it, prison for a lot. I played more cards, was more social, went to yard more, I just did more stuff. So it helped me get out of bed and it helped me get out and do more stuff. And ultimately that doing stuff and getting stuff accomplished for that day and making it for that week, for that month, and then that whole year, just constantly making that part of my routine, just getting stuff done, that made my life feel better. That made me less depressed. And it was very helpful. It still is very helpful to this day. I have a psychiatrist appointment tomorrow where I'm going to get my, re-up of all my meds that I'm on, my mental health meds, and they all work, and I'll touch base with all of them. So that's with depression. For me, DNRI is the best that works for me, and I still to this day take it, and I think I'll be taking it for the long haul until I'm completely okay with the way the chemicals are, which I don't know if that will ever happen, considering, you know, I got scrambled eggs up my half skull, you know what I mean? But remember that it was Wellbutrin. It's bupropion. That's the generic name. It's Wellbutrin. I take 400 milligrams a day, 200 milligrams twice a day, or I can take it at one shot. You know what I mean? 400 milligrams. But now I'll go to the anxiety. Anxiety right now, I take Klonopin. I take 1 milligram of Klonopin 3 times a day, and I think that's the best for me because I've been on everything. I've been on Xanax for a little while. I've been on Ativan. I've been on this Klonopin. You know, I've been on everything. I've been on stuff back in '99. I think I was on I think I was on Xanax with my anti-depression meds. And since I was having a problem with finishing my jobs, I took myself off all my meds. You know, I was like, I didn't know which one was doing that. I didn't know what was what. I later found out what, but I didn't have time, so that's why I took myself off. But Ativan and Xanax and Klonopin, those are benzos, and they're all similar, but they are different because you hear some herb in the background. I'm sorry if it ain't getting blocked out, but you know, that's when a lame duck is in a boat. The lame duck goes quack quack. You know what I mean? So you gotta deal with that. I gotta deal with that here and there. But hopefully you guys don't have to hear it in this video. But the Xanax is something you take like if you're having a panic attack, if you're having an anxiety attack, like right now, like you're about to go to a job interview or something. I'm just using an example. And you take it then, and it'll be quick to react, and it goes right to it, but it don't last that long. So that's why Xanax ain't the best. That's why a lot of people like to abuse it. They get these things called the school buses. They're the yellow Xanny bars. They're usually 2 milligrams of school buses, and they take them and they get effed up. And Xanny bars turn into real prison bars because that's when people start falling asleep in the houses they're robbing. You know, they're making themselves a sandwich or something, and they go to bed on the couch, and people come home from work and school, and there's someone laying down on the couch. You know what I mean? So, but Xanax is a fast up and a fast down, and it don't last that long, but it will help you in a panic attack get through that situation. So it is very helpful. You know, so if someone who has these very bad panic attacks, that's a good med to have with you, along with a regimen that will keep you from having as many of those, say. And that's why I don't take that. I take Klonopin. I take the 1 milligram 3 times a day because I don't want to be a zombie. I don't want to be tired all day. I want to be awake and active, but I don't want to have to feel those feelings of just anxiety because my mind don't stop. My mind just is like a computer. It just keeps going and going and going and going. It computes everything, every danger, every possibility of the possibility, and of a reaction. It just don't stop. My brain works like a computer, and stuff like that helps. It's not like I got voices in my head, but I'll just use it as a term. It quiets the voices in my head. You know what I mean? Being on that. And the Klonopin, it's a slower liftoff, but it lasts longer. You know what I mean? And it's slower to come down. You know what I mean? So it ain't gonna save you from panic attack, you know, in like 5 minutes, you know, but it'll stop you from having, if you're not that serious, it's that bad, where you're having these panic attacks all the time, Klonopin will be a good med because it'll help you go throughout your day. And since they last longer, you know, you don't have to come with the pill bottle in your pocket wherever you're going. You know, you take your med in the morning and you do your routine. You might bring one if you're at work and you're getting home late. You bring one so you can take one more during your lunch or whatever, and you're fine till you get home, and then you take your last one. You know what I mean? And to me, that works fine. It works fine. I mean, ever since I've taken them, I haven't had any problems. I used to have till recently, I think my girl had a lot to do with it, calming down my rage, but I had a rage problem. A lot of it was, they said, was because of my brain. I'd be more docile, more aggressive, and I think my brain shows more aggression because that's the lifestyle I grew up in. You know, that's how I was raised, not at home by my parents, but you know, that's the life I've led when I was young, and that's when I lived in health for 10 years. That's how you stay alive and how you stay well. You know, that rage does help, you know, and so that's the way I pick. And other than my girl's help, I think that also helps me. You know, it calms me down to the point where I'm not worrying about so much, where I'm just working myself up. Because sometimes when I get confused or I get worked up, I get more angry, not that fearful, like Shaggy, worrying about a ghost and Scooby-Doo, you know what I mean? Like, I'm more of a, I get more, I just want to defeat whatever's putting that feeling in me, you know what I mean? So that works good for me. And Ativan, they had me on too in the hospital with the Klonopin, and I told them to take me off it because it was just too many benzos, too many anxiety meds, and they were kind of like making me tired. Like, I didn't want to do nothing but stare at the TV like a vegetable. You know, so I told him, I said, take me off it. But Ativan is an anxiety med too. I've never taken it by itself. I've always took it in with another med. They had it with me with my Xanax, and then when they had me on Klonopin, they also had me on it. And then I told them to take me off it and just leave me on the Klonopin on a lower milligram, just the 1 milligram 3 times a day. You know, which is 3 milligrams throughout the whole day. And but I think Ativan is a good med, but I don't think it's. Well, it depends on the dose. I was on 2 milligrams per time I took it, and I think you need a little more because it might be a little weaker. I don't have as much knowledge as I should on Ativan, but Ativan does help with anxiety. So. And I know when I got moved to a certain spot, they weren't allowed to have me on Klonopin no more. It was only Ativan, and the Ativan was still helping me, but it wasn't as good. To me, it wasn't as good as the Klonopin. So I think that's it. I think, not sure, but I think if you're not struggling with a high amount of anxiety, I think an Ativan regimen would be all right. You know what I mean? If you're not taking the Klonopin, you know, like the long amounts, you'll always be good taking the 3 pills. I think that if you're not on that bad of a level, I think an Ativan regimen would be good, and taking 3 pills a day would be fine. You know, 3 doses a day would be fine, and that's for anxiety. And I also take for it's for ADHD. The deficit disorder. I got it also because now it's scrambled eggs up here. But I take Vyvanse, but there's Adderall, Ritalin, and Vyvanse. Basically, Vyvanse is nothing by itself, like just as it is, and it's pill, capsule by itself. It's nothing. What your body has to do is digest it, and when it metabolizes it, your body metabolizes it into amphetamine. And that is what Adderall and stuff like that is. When I was getting Adderall's amphetamine salt. It was just pure speed. It was amphetamine. And so Vyvanse does the same, and Ritalin, I'm sure Ritalin, I think, is just one amphetamine, and Adderall is like more than one amphetamine. So I could be wrong or could be right. I know it has some sort of difference. You know what I mean? But it's not a huge difference, but I know there is a difference, and I think that's what the difference is. It's the amount. It's like different kinds of amphetamine salts, and the amount, and The Adderall I had to take 2 times a day. I took a lower dose. I took 20 milligrams 2 times a day. Hung out with people. I took the 25s and the 30s, long lasting and the quick release, all that stuff, but I was taking 2 20s a day. And that was just what I needed. It had me all of a sudden texting like an MF. And I texted so much where I found out you can actually text to where it cuts you off from writing another word. You have to send that booklet and then you can start continuing your text. I didn't know that until I started taking my medication. But my Vyvanse that I'm on now, I only take it once a day, once in the morning. I take 40 milligrams, and it works for about a good 10 hours. I would say 8 to 10 hours. So really doesn't do nothing late at night, but you don't really need it as much. I figure if you had to do something at night, you would take your medication maybe a little later if you needed your brain to work. So yeah, that works for me with that. And so I got the antidepressant, I got the anxiety, I got the brain. So that's like the stuff you got to think about. You got to think about if you're suffering from depression, you got to figure out what kind of depression are you suffering from and why are you continuing to suffer from it. Is it your lack of activity? Is it something you could physically do by actually physically forcing yourself to do certain activities, maybe going to a group, just going to the library, or just walking down in public, or going to the beach. Because I'm from Long Island, so I live on an island, so I live all around the beach, so, you could do stuff, and if any of that's a struggle, taking antidepressants will help you. And depending on where you are with your life and where you are in your head, the certain antidepressant, whether it be ssri, snri, or dnri, that will be the right med. You and your doctor will figure out which one is the more appropriate one for you. And as far as your anxiety goes, same situation. If I feel the best way to handle the fear would be to put yourself in front of it a lot. Like people say, if you have a fear of snakes, keep snakes close to you, and then they'll, you wind up getting, I don't know, like if you're a kid and you're watching porn every day, like if you're a little like 12-year-old, 11-year-old, you get desensitized, to like nudity. You won't be like all of a sudden, like rock hard because your teacher's butt is showing because you're in class, she's like, butt is sticking out. You won't be like that. You'll be desensitized. And I think if you're having certain things that might be putting you through it, like public speaking, then force yourself to do a lot more public speaking, and that will also help you. By physically doing stuff with your life, it'll also help. You won't just need the medication, because just taking medication will only do so much for you. You have to physically change your life as well. The medication will just help you along the path of changing a life in order to become a better person, better man, or a better woman, or to feel like a better man or a better woman. You know what I mean? And as far as the deficit disorder, the attention deficit disorder, that depends on the person. You know what I mean? I've had it before this brain injury, and now with the brain injury, not having a memory and all this other stuff that comes along with it, that I really do need to function. Well, I'm not running around everywhere with my school bag with my freaking books inside, because I got to write down everything. I can't remember it if it ain't written down. I'm able to remember more. Even though I write down a lot of stuff still to this date, I still have my calendars up of what I need to know, what I need to do on certain days, and but it's just not as much. So that's the kind of things you need to talk with your psychiatrist about. That's the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist. Psychologist is someone you just talk to, and who talks to you back, and where you can work out your problems. That's the physical action of working out your problems. through talk, through plans, being optimistic about doing this or doing that, or maybe you had a step back where you had like a little relapse of staying home and in your bed for a couple of days, and you were just used to being a little more active. That's how they'll talk to you to get back out of it with your, psychiatrist help with the meds you're taking to bring you to where you want to be in life, And a psychiatrist doesn't really talk to you about your problems. They just prescribe you meds. They're the ones that are allowed to, you know what I mean? They will talk to you to make sure your meds are all right, make sure your meds are working good, and how you feeling on these such meds. And if that is what you want in your life, and if that's allowing you to get where you want to be in your life, And for the bipolar disorder is where you have like high ups and high downs, low downs, I guess you'd say, but real downs and real ups, quick. Like the way I'm talking to you right now, I might be like this way, and then all of a sudden I might just be like quiet and just not want to say nothing and feel really depressed and really low. Just feel like I'm holding up the world on my shoulders, and then 3 seconds later, I feel like I'm God and I'm talking to everybody. I'm the life of the party. Those are like quick ups and downs with stuff not really making them go either way other than your own brain. You know what I mean? So that's for the doctor to think if you are of that type, if you should be prescribed any medication for that, or if just a psychologist can help you work through it. I take tons of more meds, and they're for other things, and they do help with my mental health also, but those are the major mental health issues that I have, knowledge of and experience with, and that I have no problem sharing with you guys about myself, you know what I mean? I do suffer from anxiety, depression, and like I said, the doctors have said, I have those ups and downs, which I want to feel them, and I think I need to be set off either way. I don't just wake up and feel down 2 seconds, feel like I'm about to control the globe, and then feel like I dropped the globe and the globe broke. I don't think I'm like that, but you never know. Only people can tell people that are licensed for that stuff. But I hope I did help anybody with this little bit of knowledge that I was able to share with you guys. And if you have any questions, please down below, ask or say or speak your part, because I'm not the only person that will answer. It'll be other people that are watching. They'll put their answers to maybe some of your questions, and you might have your own conversations down below the video, and before I let you go, there is that one problem that we got that beef with. We got that beef with the subscribe button, and if it's red, it's looking for you to knock it out so you can just kill it, because when it's dead, it's gray. So if it's gray, it's dead, let it go. So if you learned anything from this, or if you liked me sharing my information with you and trying to help you out by giving you a little bit about, a little information about what I have going on with me, please hit the like, hit the thumbs up. If you did not like it, you can hit a thumbs down too. That works as well, but please state why. Maybe I could change it, add a little bit more to it. Other than that, I hope you guys all, mental health wise, are enjoying yourselves. I hope you're not choosing illegal narcotics to kind of treat yourself, because that's what I did most of my life. I tried to self-medicate myself. Hope you guys aren't doing that. Hope you guys are choosing the better route. And if you guys need anybody to talk to, message. I will always answer everything. Me or my manager, which is my girl, and editor. One of us will always answer it. You know what I mean? So I hope you guys all have a good day. And I hope you guys are enjoying this nice weather. And I hope this helps bring you guys' mood up, your spirit up. And I hope you guys get a lot done, in a positive way. And I'll do another video real soon. So I'll talk to you guys later.